everybody to the Single and Stilettos Show. I'm Suzanne Oshima, and I'm a matchmaker and dating coach at Dream Bachelor and Bachelorette, and I'm also the founder of Single and Stilettos. Today we have on our show David Steele, and he's a marriage and family therapist and relationship coach and founder of the Relationship Coaching Institute. And I'm so excited to have him here today because today we're talking about the 3 biggest dating traps to avoid. And before we jump into that, I would love you, David, for you to tell our audience a little bit about you and how you became a relationship coach and marriage and family therapist.
Well, hi, Suzanne. Thanks for having me. I had an unhappy childhood. My parents divorced when I was a kid, and I'm passionate about relationships. I want to love and be loved, and so I went into the profession, became a marriage and family therapist. And about 10 years later, after specializing working with couples, I was burning out. And I divorced twice during that period, actually. That was awful. And I discovered coaching, professional, personal coaching. I became excited about applying it to relationships and started doing that in my own practice. Then I founded a Relationship Coaching Institute to train others to do relationship coaching. And I became passionate about coaching singles, how to help singles find the love of their life. Because I had the epiphany, singles become couples. That's absolutely where we need to start.
Awesome. Well, let's jump into this. So the 3 traps, and the first one I love that you talk about is the scarcity trap. So can you tell us a little bit about this trap that women fall into?
Yeah, first let's clarify. I identify 14 dating traps. And you've chosen 3 of your favorites, and I love it. So let's talk about that. So the scarcity trap is where you don't believe that there is the right partner for you out there. You don't believe that there's enough single men or single women, so you have to take what you can get or be alone. So what do you have? You have abundance, which is I believe there's plenty in the universe and there's enough for me. Or scarcity, I believe there's not enough in the universe and I'm not going to be able to get what I really want, so I have to settle. And that is a trap in itself, because I've learned personally that when you settle in a relationship, you guarantee you won't be happy. So the scarcity trap causes you to settle, causes you to be desperate.
And what do you mean by desperate, though?
Well, it's like if you believe there wasn't enough food to go around, what would you do? You'd be grabbing. You'd be hoarding. Same with money. If you didn't believe there was enough money to be around, you'd be worried about it all the time. You'd be hoarding it. You'd be trying to get it in any way you can. You'd be stealing it. So whenever we have a scarcity mindset about something, there's a lot of fear about that. There's a lot of desperation about survival. It feels like a survival issue. But the reality is the universe is abundance. When it comes to singles, there's millions of eligible, available singles in the world. But when you're single, you know that. We're not dumb when we're single. We know there's millions of available singles, but we have a hard time finding the right one for us, the one that we're compatible with, the one that we have chemistry with. And so we believe we have to settle for less or be alone, that what we really want is not out there.
Right. So it's about really changing that mindset, which is going to bring you that abundance, right?
Right, exactly. So it's hard. It was hard for me, but when you really get it and you really practice it, and I think practicing is part of it because, we have ways of thinking that are habitual, and so we have to train our brain and we have to intentionally practice those ways of thinking, and that's where affirmations come in. And you might think it's woo-woo, you might think it's dumb, but whatever is in our mind comes out in reality.
Right.
Perception is reality. So if we perceive that all men are jerks, the right one, what I really want doesn't exist, so I have to settle for less or be alone. That's going to be your reality. If you believe my soulmate is out there and I will absolutely meet them, and you know what? They are looking for me at the same time that I'm looking for them, so we're going to find each other any day now. I'm really excited. When you have, train your brain, think that way every day. When I did that for myself, just a long story in that, but when I did that for myself, I found my soulmate. I found Darlene in 3 months. It went like that.
Awesome. I completely agree that you do have to change your mindset, because if you don't have the right mindset, you're not setting the right foundation for finding the right person.
Yeah.
So
And you guarantee you'll fail.
right, exactly, because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about the second trap, which is the attraction trap.
This is really interesting. Attraction and love and chemistry, we interpret a lot of things as love, as it's meant to be. And one of the concepts that I really like is to separate out love from attachment.
Mm-hmm.
And so we might have our favorite sweater. This is my favorite sweater vest, by the way. Nice and soft.
Uh-huh.
I'm very attached to it. When you're attached, we get attached to things. We get attached to ice cream. We get attached to our favorite clothes. We get attached to people. But it is not love. And so becoming attracted to somebody, that's not love.
Mm-hmm.
Having chemistry with somebody, that's not love. But we tend to interpret these strong feelings as love is meant to be, because we're feeling it so strongly. And so we really have to balance our head with our heart. And feel those feelings strongly, and they're wonderful, but we also have to be clear about who we are and what we want and our requirements and our needs and our wants.
That is so true. Okay, so tell us about my third favorite trap, which is the rescue trap.
Oh, man. Women especially do this, but I've seen men do this. I have to admit, I've probably done it myself, too. So the rescue trap is where you have problems, or you're not happy with your life in some way, and you believe that a relationship will fix it. So it's like, let's say you're not making enough money, you're struggling financially. If only I meet a guy and we'll put our money together, and then it'll solve my money problems.
Right.
And that's the wrong reason to choose a relationship. Or let's say you're a single mom, and you're struggling with your kid, you feel all alone, you're feeling overwhelmed. If only I had a father figure in here to help me out, then my problem would be solved. Well, that's the wrong reason to choose a relationship. So the rescue trap is we're unhappy with our life, we're struggling, we have problems of some kind, and we're looking for a relationship to solve that. And it's absolutely the wrong reason to choose somebody to be with.
That is very true, because I hear that a lot. Is sometimes people will say, oh, if I just found the right relationship, I'd be happy. Would you say, David, that a woman needs to be happy in her own life before she can be happy in a relationship with a man?
Unfortunately, yes. This is what singles do not want to hear. One of the I have 10 principles of conscious dating here. Mm-hmm. Conscious dating. 10 principles of conscious dating. The 10th one is be a successful single. And that's where we need to be successful and happy on our own. We need to have the life we want on our own and bring somebody in that's going to be a good fit for that. And if we're not happy, then the law of attraction means what? It means like attracts like. If we're not happy, we're going to attract more unhappiness in our life. We're going to attract somebody in our life that mirrors that. So success breeds success, and misery loves company, right?
Right.
So this is the principle that singles hate, and I admit it, I hate it too, but we have to work on ourselves first, have the life that we want, be truly happy as we are before we can find happiness in a relationship. A relationship will not solve all your problems. It won't cure your depression. It won't make you happy all by itself. You're just basically going to get more of what you already have that you don't want.
That is very, very true. So
it's hard. It's a hard truth.
It is, but it's a reality. So
yeah.
These have been some great tips. And I know, David, you said there's actually 14 traps that people fall into, and we only went over 3. So where can the ladies find the rest of the traps that you were talking about?
Just go to consciousdating.com, click around, click on blog, click on About Conscious Dating, and they're all there.
Great. Well, thanks everybody for joining us on the Single and Stiletto Show. Our show is available both in video format and podcast format. If you'd like to view the videos, you can go to singleandstilettos.com. If you'd like to get the podcast, you can download it from iTunes. And if you would like to get our free ebook on the 3 secrets guaranteed to attract any man based on scientific research, you can click right here on the video, or you can go to singleandstilettos.com.